Hello and welcome to Master Gardening. I'm your host, Bud Qualk, and we've got a special treat for you today. We're at Wurth Farms. We got pumpkin pie, apple cider, the whole works. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. Welcome to Wurth Farms. I'm here with most of the Wurth family. This is Lisa and Brooke Grief and Steve Wurth on the end down here, and I guess you can see most of this back here, and the whole place is like that. We're going to show you a bunch more pictures pretty soon. We're here to talk about how did this all get started. Most people know who you are in this area. Was your father, grandfather, great-grandfather?
They were all, I guess they moved here in the early, well, in the mid-1800s, somewhere around that is when it seems like the first recorded record. And our grandfather and grandmother bought this ground that we're on now around 1908. And of course they farmed it like a lot of other people did in that time, and grew strawberries eventually, which was a big industry in this area for many years.
Down on the mural on the river.
That's right. As a matter of fact, the lady that's on that mural used to buy flowers from us in her later years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You recognize her?
No, she introduced herself as that. I didn't remember her from that time. Yeah. Our grandfather actually served on the strawberry board for many years in that.
I'll be darned.
Was a member of the farmers market down on 2nd Street in Paducah.
Well, that's in the heyday.
That was when things were booming.
Yeah.
Things were booming. Our dad and uncle then bought part of these farms, and they continued. They both worked off the farm, but they continued to raise large gardens and sold excess and had cattle and hogs and that during their time. And of course strawberries have always been a part, so strawberries, you know, were part of us growing up, and Daddy sold strawberries as well as growing mums and selling those.
Where do they sell the strawberries? Is just locally?
At that time, yes, they were all sold locally at that time.
Okay.
They were all sold locally.
Didn't ship any?
No, that faded, I guess, during the Depression era. And that's my thinking. I could be correct.
Yeah, they used to ship boxcars out of Paducah.
Oh yeah, they used to ship boxcars, ice them down, and it was a booming thing in this area. And then when I got out of school, we started farming again in a big way, or semi-big way for us, anyways. I shouldn't say in a big way, but for us it was. We started growing tomatoes and tobacco, and eventually got to where we grew 60 acres of state tomatoes that we distributed throughout the upper Midwest. Wow. And we did that for approximately 40 years. We have ceased doing that for a variety of reasons, and now we grow strawberries and have kind of actually gone back to where we started from. We're now selling mums and pumpkins and fresh vegetables during the summer months here locally. Yeah. So everything comes full cycle, I guess, Bud.
Yeah, this is the pumpkin and the apple cider and the mums and the pennies and all those things. Yeah. And you grow all these yourself, or do you?
Yes. All this is produced here. All this is produced here on either this farm or the farm in Graves County.
Now, the farm in Graves County, we're going to go there next. But that's huge pumpkin patch out there, probably.
Right. We do. That's where most of the pumpkin production is. Actually.
You've got one in the back here.
We have a field back there in the back.
Your tour for your hay rides. You get to go every year, don't you? No?
Yeah, I try.
So why don't we go check out this Graves County farm? That's where the pumpkin patch is, and the peppers and the okra and the sweet corn.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Ready?
Great. Let's go.
Let's go. Hello. We're here at Wurth Farms South with Jim Wurth, and you'll never guess what we're going to talk about. Dan, we're here at the pumpkin patch, and for those kids that think that pumpkins are yellow from the start, they're not. They start out green. You want to show them that, Jim?
Yeah. Yeah, like right here is a smaller one that a lot of people think they're watermelons, but actually they're not.
It looks a lot like a watermelon. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Got different colors, different sizes. Got the little tiny ones.
Right.
Now this is the fall, and you can see a little bit of the frost out here. So some of these small ones probably aren't going to make it, are they?
No, probably not.
Just
Depending on the weather.
Yeah.
Just depending on the weather from now.
If we don't get a frost till the end of November.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, orange pumpkin's kind of hard to sell in November, bud.
Once you get past Thanksgiving, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yep.
Okay, this is a huge patch. Is this your main patch right here?
Yeah, this is the main patch. It's about 10 acres in this, and then we've got another 7 acres on the other side to drain there.
Now we had a flood last year. I can't name the year, but a flood last year, and we got a drought, pretty well a drought this year.
Right.
What'd that do? Your pumpkins don't look like it got hurt, or did they get hurt?
Well, I think it slowed them down a little bit. There was just so many days through July that, because of the temperatures and the lack of moisture, that we weren't able to progress. We just held on.
So they're late.
Yeah, a little.
Okay, which means that, they're going to mature after Thanksgiving, which means that's, okay.
Right.
Now,
actually, next year's crop is already planned.
Planned or planted?
Planned.
Planned, okay.
Planned.
It's a little bit early for pumpkins.
The way we do pumpkins is we actually no-till all of them. The ground's not worked, and I don't know if you can see, there's wheat stubble here.
Okay, so you're going to no-till this?
No.
Or another field?
No, the field where we'll have pumpkins next year.
Had wheat?
We'll get planted in wheat probably the first part of next week.
Okay.
And that wheat will come up, mature, we'll cut that grain off, and then a real hard planting date for us to remember is Steve's birthday, 23rd of June.
Your brother?
Yeah.
Does he know that?
No, don't tell him.
Okay.
Don't tell him that's how I remember when to plant pumpkins.
You don't call him Pumpkin Head. No, I shouldn't say that.
But that's typically when we try to plant pumpkins.
Okay.
Is right on his birthday, June 23rd.
Okay.
And so anyway, the weed will come off. We'll come in. We'll plant that. That's how come. I don't know if you noticed the pumpkin, how clean it is.
It is clean.
No dirt. You know, there's where she laid on the ground.
You got the straw to lay on there.
That's right.
That's pretty darn smart.
Make a bed for him.
Yeah. Do most people do that, or just the Wurth Farms know to do that? Maybe we
No,
shouldn't get that secret out.
Yeah.
No.
I will have to edit all that out, won't we?
Okay. Now I notice I'm a little bit of a gardener myself.
Okay.
Break that leaf off. That white stuff on there is not good, is it?
No, it's not. That's powdery mildew. As far as I know, it affects all cucurbits.
Yeah.
Which cucurbits is all the vining crops.
Yeah.
And would include squash in that.
Cucumbers, all that stuff.
Yeah. Cucumbers, cantaloupes, watermelons.
Doesn't look like it's holding back your patch here very much, though.
Well, some of the new hybrids now are resistant to it. Of course, they're a little pricier, but it's worth the effort. You still have to spray for them.
Okay, I was going to say.
You just hopefully you don't have to spray as often.
Do you have the planes come in, or do you?
No. We use a ground drive.
Okay.
Sprayer. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
the thing about powdery mildew is what you spray it with today, it's immune to by tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. You constantly have to change the fungicide that you're using on it.
Well, see, roses are like that with the fungicides. You're supposed to
Right.
alternate 3 different kinds of sprays so they don't
Yep.
become. Yeah. So
Yep.
it's the same thing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No. Now, I see all the blooms and what have you here. I don't see very many bumblebees or honeybees or anything like that.
Well, they can't get jackets on like me and you.
Is it too cold for them?
That's right. It might be a yellow jacket.
Yeah, it's sun's out right now, but it's been pretty cool today. So that when on a warmer day, you'll see a bunch of bees and stuff out here.
Yeah. Not too many of the bees. It's more with the pumpkins. It's more about bumblebees and hornets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I noticed that right off the bat. I didn't see any on the blooms,
Right.
and you're right. I have 3 hives myself, and I should have already known that. They're just trying to stay warm right now.
Really,
Yeah.
I don't see a whole lot of female flyers on here. The ones that you see sticking up
Yeah, those are all males.
Are the male flyers, and the reason they stick up above the leaf canopy is to attract the bees and the hornets, and that way they come in. And then, like I say, I just don't see a.
What's the difference in how they look? Well, just for my benefit too.
Well, I can't find one.
Are they smaller or shorter or
Maybe we'll find one in a minute. It'll magically appear for us.
Okay. Well, this is the time of year for pumpkins.
Yes, sir.
Apple cider
Yes,
and
sir.
gourds and all
Apple
that good
sundaes.
stuff. Apple
I
sundae?
don't know if you've had an apple sundae or not, but
Is that the alcohol?
no.
Oh, okay. I thought the alcohol, the apple drink. Never mind. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's run over to the tomato and the sweet corn patch. Dan, you ready to go? Thumbs up. Dan gave me the thumbs up. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go
All
get
right,
them.
let's go.
We're here in the pepper patch with Steve Wurth, still in Wurth Farms South. And what a pepper patch. You got 300-foot rows of peppers here. You say you're not going to pick anymore?
We're only going to pick upon orders.
Okay.
We're not speculating this late in the year as to whether we'll be able to sell them or not.
Yeah, well, did the neighbors sneak over the fence here and grab them some?
No, actually, they wait for me to harvest them and they go with the packing sheet.
They want you to put them in a package for them?
They want to be prepackaged, yeah. No.
But yeah, you don't have any gate here, but you're thinking about doing that maybe.
Yes, we're thinking we need to establish some gate, and not obviously for the neighbors coming back or whatever, but because of vandalism and this threat of food security that's really imminent.
You can't put a camera in the trees out here. No?
That's only for taking pictures of deers, I think.
Yeah, what do deers? Do you have any predators?
The only thing that deer seem to bother some. Excuse me. We've been eating peppers.
I've been eating hot peppers.
Yeah,
we have been. You've got some in your tooth.
I've got them. I've got so much for eating your product.
Deer don't bother them?
The deer bother our strawberries a lot. They'll eat the strawberry plants during the winter and early spring. And occasionally we'll have some in our sweet corn. We'll have some damage in sweet corn, but that's primarily raccoons in the sweet corn.
Oh, I could tell you some stories on raccoon.
Oh yeah.
They always eat it the day before you're ready to pick. But all these peppers, tell me, how do you do this? I see you're using raised furrows.
What this is done with, we have stripped the plastic off these beds right now, but typically this is done where we lay a small plastic hose down the middle. This is all done by machine. It lays what they call trickle tape down the middle of the row. Then it's covered with white plastic. The machine does that in one pass, and
disposable irrigation.
Disposable. Well, and it curtails. This way, it cuts down on water consumption drastically, and your plants you can keep your moisture at a steady supply throughout the whole year. And it just, as you can see, it greatly enhances the growth and yield of the plants. You know.
Yeah, we had drought and my peppers look terrible compared to these. These still look really good. We had a frost last night and it didn't hurt them very much.
Right.
And you got the plastic on top of that.
Right.
On top of the raised furrow, and with the raised, it dries out quicker in the spring.
In the spring, it dries out and allows us to get in here early. These plants were actually planted around the 2nd of May this year, so this is not a summer planting or anything. These plants have been here since the 2nd of May. And
I don't know if you can see it or not. The prolific, it's 1,000 peppers on that one plant, and then you stake them.
Right. That's staking them, and that's primarily for sunburn control. What we use on this is called a Florida weave, and you attach a ball of this white string to your belt. You run that through a plastic hole, through a plastic PVC pipe, and you just wrap that plant, and you
back
and forth, and that supports this plant so that when you get these huge peppers like this, they're not exposed to the sun and sunburn, which makes them a cull then at that point.
I have that same problem with mine, and I stake mine, but I put a little bamboo stake by each one of them. But of course you couldn't do that with these. But
no. This is fairly. Once a guy understands the system here, one guy can tie approximately 1.5 acres a day.
No. How close do you plant your plants?
These plants here are planted 18 inches, but we alternate. There's actually 2 rows of peppers here. There's one on this side and one on that side, and they're staggered. Yes.
Okay. That's about what I do with mine, but mine aren't as big as yours. Fertilizer?
We follow UK's recommendations on phosphorus and potash initially. Use a little nitrogen to begin with, but peppers, very much like tomatoes, you need to watch your going in with your high rates of nitrogen. They'll tend to become overly vegetative, And so you try to hold your nitrogen back until you see that you actually are going to have some fruit. Then you can start pumping the nitrogen to them.
Once the fruit starts coming, you pump the nitrogen. I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. What we, and the typical rule of thumb is if you follow a good fertility program up until that point, is it maybe like 50 pounds per acre of N pre-plant, and then you add supplemental as your fruit gets to the size of a quarter. We like to use calcium nitrate through ours. It's very water soluble. Plus, you get an additional boost in calcium, which helps us prevent end rot on the bottom of our peppers and our tomatoes both.
Blossom end rot.
Right,
yes.
blossom end rot.
Calcium, lack of calcium. And I know a lot of people out there have that, and that's what it is, a lack of calcium. I get that question all the time.
Right, right.
Yeah, but and these peppers, they're not too bad. You don't put any pesticide on these things, really.
Very little. These haven't been sprayed in over a month.
Dan, I'm having peppers tonight.
Right.
Let's take a quick look at your okra.
Okra's still the same thing. It's still in production, and again, it's simply because of keeping nutrients and water to it. And of course, okra needs very little spraying to begin with, if any, at all. So we're still harvesting okra.
You plant it basically the same with the rows and stuff?
It's just a single row. It's just a single. It's a much larger plant, and so it's just planted. It's planted about every 18 inches.
Every 18 inches, and you use more nitrogen with that?
Typically, we don't fertilize nitrogen near as much as we do our peppers. Yeah. But you know, okra does not require a whole lot of nitrogen.
Okay.
I would say most probably 2/3 the amount that you would with a pepper crop.
Okay, Steve, it looks like we're going to need. I think we're going to run back to the Wurth Farms North.
Okay.
Okay, let's go take a look at the pumpkins and all the displays he's got up there. Maybe take a hayride for a short period of time. Dan, what do you think? You ready?
Okay,
let's go get them.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm here in the greenhouse with Lisa and Brooke, and this wasn't here when your grandfather built this place. How long have you had the greenhouses and what have you?
For the fall, we started back in '95, the year that my daughter Brooke was born, and we'd been raising burley tobacco and kind of decided that was maybe not so productive anymore for us. So we already had the greenhouses and thought, well, hey, let's make a go of it. So we started with mums and pansies and corn stalks, and one thing led to another, and we was doing hayrides.
You must have grew a lot of tobacco. You had this many greenhouses, or you couldn't?
Well, no, we didn't produce tobacco. It wasn't back then. It wasn't. You know, the water beds were just coming into existence. So we already had the greenhouses because we raised all the spring flowers. You know, so we already had the greenhouses for that. So.
And the greenhouses are called. What'd you call them a while ago? They're connected?
Down here where we sell all our plants, they're gutter connected greenhouses.
Gutter connected. Gutter connected greenhouses.
Right.
Okay, I don't know what's
one
going on.
greenhouse is joined to another by a gutter. So.
Now I see all the neat things, and everybody can see all the mums back here. This is fantastic. I wish I had a few of these in my house. Yeah. But I see the pansies, and I'd say the pansies are a big thing in the fall too.
They are. They don't quite get the just due that they should, because pansies are such a neat flower. They will bloom sporadically in the winter when a lot of other plants aren't doing anything. It's kind of nice to look outside in December or January when it's cold and see a little flower smiling back at you.
They don't get the credit they deserve. I agree with you 100%.
They don't.
Great in the fall.
Yeah, we don't raise them in the spring anymore. We used to, but they have such a short life cycle whenever you plant them in the spring and it gets hot, and that's it, they're done.
Yeah, and the people that you sold them to in the fall have still got them, so they don't need any more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you grow all these plants yourself here?
We do. We actually get little plugs, plant pansy plugs in the 1st of August.
Oh.
And they're about as big as your thumb.
Yeah.
And we transplant them and off we go.
Well, the pansies never get put in the ground. The mums the same way, they stay in a container the whole life?
Yeah, mums. We transplant mums end of May, 1st of June, into pots, and they stay in pots. Yeah, they're container grown mums.
What if you didn't sell all these before winter?
The mums?
Yeah. What do you do with that? You got any excess mums? I'm just hitting you up for. No.
Well, by the time that we're through here, they're pretty well spent.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you don't take those and use them for propagation the next year?
No,
No,
you really can't.
no.
Most of them are patented. So
you're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to.
I didn't
We're
know
not
that.
allowed to. We're not allowed to.
Okay, you have to
Until
pay
we
to
sell.
do that. You can,
right.
so you could do it again.
Right.
Same
You
way.
can do it, but we can't.
Yeah. More and more things are. Corn is that way now.
Right.
You can't use the same corn anymore. They got the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now you have gourds, wonderful
Gourds.
gourds everywhere,
Right.
and we'll have pictures of those. Dan will take care of that.
All kinds of goofy pumpkins and squashes. We have the white pumpkins, the really big white pumpkins, and Cinderella pumpkins, and
Yeah.
gourds. And
Now, are they the good
squashes.
ones to make the pumpkin pie?
We have pie pumpkins. You don't want to use a jack-o'-lantern sized pumpkin to make a pie.
No.
No.
It's special pumpkins for pies, right?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. I've tried the other way. It didn't turn out too good.
Yeah, a lot of people just soon go to the store
It's
and buy
supposed
the
to
can.
work, right?
You know, they think that makes the best pie pumpkin.
Now, on the way in here, and we'll get shots of this, there's a guy out there that's about 30 feet tall
Yeah.
with a pumpkin on his head or something that out of the bales of
Oh,
hay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, you do all kind of things for the kids here, right?
Sure, we do. Actually, Monday through Friday, we do nothing but, I do nothing but school tours. I do special need groups. We take them on the hayride. We don't do all the activities that we do on the weekend, but try and make it a little bit more educational, you know, for the kids, and the special needs guys really enjoy it. So we do that. We have a picnic area, so they bring their lunch sometimes,
Yeah.
and they stay and eat lunch with me, and they'll go through the straw maze, or, you know, they always get a little pumpkin to take home with them. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, then we go full blown. We have hay rides, petting zoos, horse rides, inflatables. We have a man that comes out on Saturdays and does the little balloon things.
Yeah.
Have
You
a
got the
band. We have a band.
A live
We do some-
band? Really?
Yeah, on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, we toe tap and holler and scream at
You
people
pull up a
out
wagon
here.
and they get up
We
on the
actually
wagon.
make them a bandstand.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
And you got the
just
cows
country
back
music.
there. I saw the cows.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the hayride myself on this silver. We
Yeah.
don't have time to do it today. We're going to have to do another show.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we'll do that hayride for sure,
Sure,
Lynn.
yeah.
But I'm not going to be able to do it. We're not going to be able to do it this time. We thought we'd have
Yeah.
time, but I had an idea
Lots
with
of
all the
things
stuff you
going
guys
on
have
out
got
here,
here, the vegetables and the
Yeah.
canned goods and
Right.
the flowers and everything, and especially the pumpkins. The pumpkins are your number one thing,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
I saw a
Yeah.
field back here, must have been 5,000 pumpkins in it.
Yeah.
That's probably
I
not
asked some
inaccurate.
of the school kids when they come out, and they think there's 106.
Yeah. You got all those wagons they can butter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they load those up, put the kids in them, drag them through the pumpkin
Yeah.
patch, pick them out a fine pumpkin.
Well, we're out of time, but I'm going to run down and
Yeah.
get on the wagon.
Okay.
Steve said he's going to give me a tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on
Okay.
tight.
All right, let's get down. Let's
All
go.
right.
This is goodbye from Wurth Farms. We've had a heck of a day. I told you it's going to be a special event. We're going on a hayride. We'll catch a hayride next time. Until next time, good gardening. Step on it, Steve.